Moving on. The next factor crap of the day, we're going to go up to Chicago. As you guys see, Caleb Williams is not a very happy camper right there sitting on the bench. But Caleb Williams so far this season, guys, has been sacked 58 times so far this season. He's the third highest sacked among rookie quarterbacks throughout the career, right? Last night we see him with the look of defeat on the sidelines after a huge hit. So, Mark, fact or crap, does Caleb Williams need to be benched for the rest of the season?
I'm going to say crap, but with a caveat, because I think the main reason, okay, so he's on this streak right now where he hasn't thrown a pick in 7 games. And I think, to me, that kind of sounds like he's playing too safe and he's not taking enough risks. I think he needs to go back to the old Caleb and go back to gunslinger in it, and maybe he could bring some fire back. I don't think you bench him, but you gotta talk him up. You gotta change some stuff.
So you got to talk him up. You got to give him confidence while still playing game and getting his ass whooped. But, okay. Hoffy, factor crap. Should Caleb Williams be benched?
Crap. I don't think that he should be benched. I mean, he's got an 87.7 QB, rating. I mean, he's not playing bad. He's got 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. As a rookie, I'll take those numbers. I think it's just a problem with the offensive line. And in the coaching staff. I don't think that this coaching staff is capable of running an offense or running a team at all. I mean, they've already fired their head coach. They need to fire every single one of their coaching staff. I think Ben Johnson comes in from the Detroit Lions, and this is a complete different offense. But I don't think the problem's Caleb Williams. I think it's the offensive line.
So you guys are saying you should not bench him, is what you're saying?
No, you're going to kill his confidence.
So you say he's going to kill his confidence. What happened to Bryce Young after he got benched?
He actually played better, so that is a good call.
Playing some of the best football of his career. Should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Should have beat the Buccaneers. Should have beat the Eagles, right? I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? What if? But he's playing some of the best football after he has been benched, right? Anthony Richardson. What happened after he got benched? Playing some of the best football of his career. Let's just be honest. I mean, it's not a large sample, but some of the best football of his career. Guys,
Caleb, but those guys, 50%, Buck.
Those guys played themselves out of a job. Caleb Williams hasn't done anything to warrant being benched. He's not playing bad. Richardson and Bryce Young were both playing bad, and they needed to be sat. Caleb Williams hasn't shown that.
Hoffy, Caleb is hanging onto the ball 5 seconds per drop back. The NFL average is 3.7. He is hanging on the ball a full second and almost a half longer than anybody else in the NFL. And he's paying the price for it over and over and over again. 58 times to be exact. Guys, Caleb Williams needs to be benched just to save himself from himself at this particular point, right? Look at this picture. He looks like a very defeated man. He looks like a man's like, man, I just got diddied, right? And I don't know what to do. And it just like, that is just where we're at. We are in the point where, like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I need to take a step back. Maybe, just maybe, I should try to unsend that text message that I sent our punter back on draft night saying, hey, you're probably not going to get the punt very, very, very much. The punter is the leading, the most number of punts in the NFL so far this season. But I think it is a fact. I think it is a fact that he does need to get benched. So, guys, in the comments below, let us know. Fact or crap, does Caleb Williams need to get benched? Casey Morgan says he needs to say gravedigger. Okay. Laura says Williams took a night. Caleb Williams took a nap last night. Night, sucker. And Jim Powell might have just broke the internet, guys. Jim Powell may have just had the comment of the night. He says, it is Chicago. Who cares? But it is a fact. Not wrong. Alpha Rob says,
clumsy.
Alpha Rob says, crap, but he was crying. He took a big shot, Alpha Rob. You take a shot in your ribs like that when throwing the ball. Hell, I cry when my 4-year-old son nut tats me. Just a little boop. Like, I am on my knees. Like, think about getting hit in the ribs like that over and over and over. It's just, come on, man. It is terrible, right? John says, kind of wondering with him being a owner, how does he feel about that? He's not an owner. Good ladder. Get out of here with that. Alpha Rob says, give him some new nail polish. He'll be just fine. Mark, you know all about nail polish. What color of nail polish does Caleb Williams need to be successful in the NFL?
Dude, he just like after talking about this and listening to some points that you made, I think you're right. He probably does need to be benched. Like you said, he just needs to get out of his own way and maybe sit in a couple weeks and maybe just sit and learn being on the bench. Maybe that's what he needs. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to see that guy, Tyler Bagent. He's the backup guy that would play if they bench him. And I thought he looked pretty good in the preseason. So, I don't know. Give him a time. Give him a break. Maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah, I believe it was 2 years ago. Combsy and I sat right here. He was all up on Justin Fields, saying about how great he was. Justin Fields on any other team would be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, yada, yada, yada. And I said, Tyson Bagent looks better for the Chicago Bears than Justin Fields did at the time. And Tyson Bagent's not a bad quarterback. And I don't know why he does not get more of a chance. And John says it is crap. He needs the playing time. So, John, let me counter this, okay? So when you say, so everybody needs playing time. Everybody needs those minutes on the field, right? To basically learn the ropes, learn the game speed, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, you need quality playing time. When you are consistently running for your life, when you're consistently making stupid reads, when you're consistently getting battered, beaten, and bruised, that's not the playing time that you need. Hoffy, you know about getting battered and beaten and bruised when the middle is open on your side. Does Caleb Williams need playing time or quality playing time? Like, if he needs playing time, it has to be quality playing time, right?
Yeah, but I stand by the fact that I don't think he's played himself out of a starting position. I think, if anything, the entire offensive line's played himself out. I get he's holding on to the ball for 5 seconds, but that's because his offensive weapons aren't getting open.
Or he's just not reading the ball quick enough, right? The NFL is boom, boom, boom. You cannot wait till somebody's wide open like he did at USC. But Derek says they do need an offensive line coach. And Derek, it was not long ago, in not so far long ago, I want to say back in September, October timeframe, the Chicago Bears had a top 5 offensive line per PFF. Now, since then, they're a little bit worse, like 29th, but they are. You are correct. They need an offense. They just need a direction, right? They need a direction. They need some fundamentals. They need something, right? I don't know what it is, but they need something. And Laura says the Bears need leadership. Mark, do you think that is the missing ingredient in Chicago, is just pure leadership?
As we talk about this, like, the thing that comes to my mind, dude, is what's going to save Caleb Williams? Because at this point, that's what they need. They need someone to help this kid be successful, because that's what's going to make them successful. So they need to figure that out. So who's the guy that's going to come in and help Caleb?
Ben Johnson.
Is Ben Johnson the answer, Hoffy?
Ben Johnson.
Knowing the Chicago Bears, they're going to hire a defensive-minded coach. It's going to be Robert Saleh or Mike Vrabel. And then they are going to go through Caleb Williams' next 2 seasons. He's just going to be dog crap crazy, right? They're going to cut him, release him, trade him, whatever. They're going to draft the other guy. Mike Vrabel gets fired the next season. It's just vicious cycle that's going on there in Chicago. Josh Olson says crap, and the Bears aren't going anywhere this season. Regular season is almost over. The Bears have been out of the playoff picture for a few weeks now, Josh. You are correct. They are not going anywhere besides top 5 draft pick at this particular point. Laura says, facts, sit him down, fix him down. John says he needs to go to the Peyton Manning quarterback school. How to throw sacks and get and throw a league-leading interceptions your rookie year. Peyton Manning School 101, right there. Laura says Caleb Williams needs a little Kevin O'Connell in his life. Okay.
I would agree.
She's all about them Vikings tonight.
Yeah, she loves them. Brady says good player, terrible front office. I don't think the front office is the issue. It's the coaching staff in general, right? Name me one player that the Bears have developed. Can't name one, can you? Go ahead, Hup.
I think it is the front office, though, Buck. That's why they haven't done anything over all these years, man, because they don't know how to draft and develop players. That's why they've never had a good quarterback that's thrown over 3,000 yards. It's ridiculous. Why is that? It's because of their ownership. I read that Harbaugh really wanted to go there initially before going to the Chargers, and he turned it down because he doesn't get along with their chairman. I forget his name, Kevin something, and the guy that runs the Bears. And so it's he pushed away a good coach, and now you think that guy's gonna help you be successful? No.
What does Ryan Poles, the GM, have to do with developing a player? I mean, he traded with he fleeced the Carolina Panthers, got Caleb Williams, got the wide receiver out of Washington. I don't think that the GM is the problem. You can point the problem of him not getting an offensive line for his quarterback, but as far as the trades and building this team, I think it falls on the coaching staff.
Mark, what are your thoughts on that?
I wasn't saying Ryan Poles. I'm talking people ahead of him, the ownership and the chairman who runs the team, who's above Ryan Poles, who's above his pay grade. I'm talking about them. They're the ones that push away good talent, like I said, like John Harbaugh, who's single-handedly gone into the Chargers and turned them around. He's a culture changer. That's what they needed there, and they totally pushed him away. So as long as that guy's there, as long as ownership's there, they're going to keep pushing away good people.
So it sounds like they need a coach, right? A coach to come in there and change the culture. But
something, yes, and maybe Vrabel's the guy, because I feel like he's he's a strong-minded dude. I feel like he could maybe bring in an offensive guy to help Caleb, and he can run the team.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels.
Probably not.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man. All right, guys.
He's a good coordinator. He's not a good head coach.
Well, that's what they need is a head coach. So Ryan says, LOL, Vikings Super Bowl champions. I will sign it and go to numbers on offense, defense, and GM. We're not talking about the. We will be talking about the Vikings very much so coming up here in about 10 minutes when we start the power rankings, Ryan. So stay tuned to that. Nacho says he needs a good quarterback coach. He needs a good offensive coordinator. An offensive coordinator that's not going to make too complex of a system, right? Easy reads, nickel and diamond down the field. Jim Powell says the Bears are the Raiders in the aspect of the quarterback development is non-existent. Correct. But it is what it is. So guys, let's move on to the final factor.